Lights up, we taking it high, can't relax. Voices of the culture, welcome NBA Max. Truth in the numbers, fire in the stats. If you love this game, then you know we run it back. Sorry from hoops, social building roots where I stand. Home with legends reminisce, shaping who I am. Culture in the moment, every voice gets a seat. We rise together strong, community complete. Fluent from sports, fluent, making knowledge appear. Turn the jargon to a language every fan can hear. Break it down simple, then I lace it with finesse. Wisdom flowing smooth, that's the art of success. Chris from All-American Hooper, I give it 100, no doubt. Teacher on the grind, showing what it's all about. From the classroom lessons to the sweat that I show. Built for the hustle, that's the only way I go. It's Jalen Carter on the beat, every bar's in tune. Turn arenas to a stage, make the culture boom. Notes hit like buckets, rhythm sharp as an axe. Soundtrack of the moment, this is NBA, man! Lights up, we taking it higher.
For some reason, Jalen, TikTok says that you do not have co-host access. And you're on mute. And you're on mute. So you're all kinds of.
Damn, I don't have co-host access.
Yeah, you don't have I literally pressed co-host and it says no co-host access. That's all it says. And I mean, I can add people I don't even know. Suggested creator gives me a list of people that I can add as a co-host.
I wonder why that is.
Did you fail your age verification?
The only thing I can think of, Jalen, is if I don't know how to invite you maybe as a guest.
Okay. I mean,
do you know how to do that?
I can try.
All right, I'll let you try to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
On TikTok, smash
like
that. But feel free to join us on Sports Fluent YouTube while they try to figure out their technical issues. We already actually have a question in the TikTok chat, so let me read that out to you to start the show. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? So the agree or disagree. So the topic for today, let me first say, is the injury epidemic has hit the NBA. So we're going to talk about those. The all-time great debate. I don't know which one we're going to talk about, but we are going to talk about one of these debates because everybody loves these debate shows and we can yell and scream at each other. Here is a question. I don't know if this person knew that that's what we were talking about, but Magic Johnson was not a better passer than John Stockton. He was just more flashy. Question mark?
Magic Johnson was definitely a better passer than John Stockton.
Well,
how do you judge that?
I don't think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jalen. I'm sorry.
I think. Well, what? Okay. What? I mean, what's the word? Goddamn.
I'm gonna
the way you're playmaking and passing.
Yes.
I guess creates offense for your teammates. I think Magic Johnson, his ability to find passes that maybe John Stockton took longer to, or just kind of finding the person at the perfect spot, whether it be on the fast break or even in the half. Actually, you know what? I'll say this. I think John Stockton's a better half-court passer than Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's better on the fast break. I'll say that because I do think Magic Johnson's half-court offensive abilities is severely overrated, especially when I watch him play.
As Magic Johnson being my favorite player, I'll try to be as impartial as I can be. So because I know Magic's game so well, I can talk to the positives and the negatives. So let me start with the negative so I'll be fair. Because you started to say something and then you backpedaled really quick.
Yeah.
And I understand why you did. Perhaps you caught yourself. But you started to say Magic was a better passer because he was quicker and it took John Stockton longer. You started to go down that kind of road. And immediately my thought was, well, or maybe Magic just went too fast because one of Magic's biggest flaws is with his passes, especially in that full court game that you just gave him credit for, was he went too fast and there was a lot of turnovers, like a lot of turnovers. Like, I mean, like almost 4 turnovers a game, a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, but that's context. That's context. Because I think those turnovers are exactly why he's a better passer than John Stockton, because he took risks, and not ineffective risks, but he was. I mean, you look at his assist totals. Obviously, he was succeeding just as often, or more often, than he was messing up, and like those risks like some people say it's flash, but to me, it's the ability to make difficult passes and pass people open and things of that nature. And to me, that is like a next level when it comes to your ability to pass. Like that's there's one thing when it's getting it to the open man. There's like that next tier when it's like throwing your man open. You know what I mean? It becomes kind of a different type of thing where his passing, despite the occasional turnover. I think he's what 4.4 for his career. You said.
No,
So
no,
like
no. I think he's 3.6 or 3.8 for his career, but there were years where he was, like around.
Yeah.
I said around 4. But the question is, when you compare him to John Stockton, and like I said, I'm going to tell you all the reasons why Magic is better, but I wanted to start to be fair with some of the negatives and say, well, Magic did turn the ball over a lot more than John. Their assists were close. I think Magic is I think they both average over double-digit assists for their careers. Obviously, John did it for a lot longer, which is why he's the assist leader that will never be caught. And then when you look at his turnovers, he's nowhere near the top of the list, even though he is by far leads the league in assists, like by leaps and bounds, right? Like, Chris is like, I don't know, Chris, are you taking the 5th or are you just waiting?
Am I what?
I said you plead in the 5th, or are you just waiting?
Oh no, no, I was waiting. No, I was checking to see if there was a way to get Jalen in here on TikTok.
Oh.
The only thing that I saw might be the reason why. One of them being is that like one of them, like one person doesn't follow the other, but I checked on both your ends. You are like I know
Yeah.
those good, but the other one was just like the other one is not allowing it, which I know obviously isn't true. So must be like a thing that he just set up
On the
live
fly.
access. Yes, maybe he has to go live for like a certain amount of time by himself. I don't know, but it's tough just because I would like I'll go as far to say that like I don't think that there is an argument. Like there are certain things in sports that I don't have an argument. So like yeah, like for example, I'm trying to think of like across sports. But like obviously Steph Curry is the best 3-point shooter all time. That's no debates. And I think that Magic Johnson being the best passer all time is also is in one of those discussions. People want to say LeBron, people want to say Nash, Kidd. I think that Magic is an interior of his own. John Stockton is a great passer. I don't know if I'd put him in my top 5. I'd probably put him in my top 10.
Okay, so pause there for a second. How can you when you say passer, what is the criteria that you guys are using? Because I hear so many people say John Stockton's on their top 5 passers. So it's clearly not assist numbers.
Right.
I think it's tricky because it's not necessarily assist.
Do you do the same? Let me ask Jalen first quickly because I'm Jalen, do you have John Stockton as a top 5 passer all time?
No.
Okay. So you guys don't use assists as a stat for passing. Do you do the same for other things? Like do you say whoever has do you say the guy who has the most rebounds of all time isn't the best rebounder and he's not even top 5 just because he has the most rebounds? Do you say the guy who has the most points all time isn't even in the top 5 in scoring even though he has the most points all time?
Well, like that's not necessarily. I don't know if like I think LeBron's in my top 3. Maybe like I don't think he's a better scorer than Jordan or Durant. Maybe he's in the like maybe there are other guys that are bargains like maybe Kobe, maybe Wilt if you want to go that far. But like like I think LeBron's a top 5 scorer all time. But for as far as it goes for rebounding, I don't even who's the all time leading rebounder. I guess is it Wilt? I guess.
That's probably Wilt.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Wilt. So, rebounding's all these are tough to evaluate, but rebounding's also tough just because Wilt and Beryl were, they were like total outliers as far as it goes for putting up the raw numbers. But I would say, but if you to answer your question from earlier, I guess I'd say my criteria is mostly just guys that are. That have the ability to like have like that like the court vision to find the open man at all costs that are able to make like the most accurate tight passes and just create the best play possible with the ball in their hands and
Well, then that's John Stockton.
There's a difference between
hold on,
creating an assist.
I just want to be clear. That criteria you just gave is John Stockton. It is. What makes me say that? Okay, go through your criteria again, and I'll tell you. Go through each one.
Okay, so having the proper court vision.
John Stockton had ridiculous court vision.
Better than Nash?
Yes.
No,
so.
that's crazy.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Crazy.
I don't think so.
100%. I watched both of them live, probably more than both, and I'm going to say yes. You can say no. I'm saying yes. Okay, next thing.
Okay. What was the next thing I said? I said making the tough passes accurately. I think
he not only made the tough passes accurately, he made the tough passes look easy that you guys didn't think he was making tough passes. So 100%, that's true.
That's fair enough.
Okay.
And then the third one is just making the right play. So
the guy who leads the league in assists by leaps and bounds is nowhere near the top in turnovers. That's making the right play.
So, but how much of his assists? And again, I don't know. I know a lot of Stockton haters will go. Like, I'm not even Stockton haters. Just like 90s haters will go out on a limb and say, none of his passes were easy. They were just still Malone. Obviously, that part's not true. But
not true.
But like how much of his assists are his responsibility alone? Because I don't know. Again, I don't know.
That's true for every player. So I'm telling you, Magic's my favorite player all time, and I'm picking on him because the question was Magic and Stockton, and I'm picking on him so I can be fair. Magic Johnson was throwing the ball to Kareem, who would turn around skyhook. Is that really an assist for Magic, or is that just he threw it into the at the time #1 scorer of all time who had one move that no one could stop?
So that's the thing. There's a difference between creating assists and getting an assist, right? So getting an assist, someone moving off the ball, gets over a screen, you're just at the top, pass, he shoots it, that's an assist. Creating an assist, maybe you're dribbling up the court, break down defense, you beat your man, you hesitate, you bring a defender over, kick to the open guy, you're creating the assist. So I think when it comes to that, guys like Magic Johnson, LeBron James create more assists than John Stockton.
Well, but that's
John Stockton was getting assists.
You brought up LeBron, and that's completely a fraud because over half of LeBron's assists are him at the top passing it to the wing for an open three. And because they shoot so many threes today, he's not doing anything. That other guy's not doing anything.
But that wasn't true in 2007's 8,
no.
9,
It's
10,
been
11, 12.
It's been true for 12 of his 23 years.
So, okay, fine. That's fair to say because the three ball.
We don't know for all the other guys. Again, that's the other part. When you say creating, is anyone counting how many they had to drive, penetrate, and kick it out versus they just threw it out to a guy for?
That's true. That's just memory of a person's game. Yeah, and that's more. We have to break down.
Again, when you use Stockton, well, why was so much attention to Stockton that he could throw a pass from half court down to the post for Malone, who was streaking, to just catch it and dunk it? Well,
I don't think that was the intention on him, though. That was just
Malone, or is that Stockton making that pin perfect pass from half court that all he has to do is catch it and dunk it?
That's Malone sealing off his defender, getting in a good position.
No, he's just running,
making a good pass. Stockton made a good pass, but he didn't create that assist. He made the right pass. It's still a good pass, but it's still not creating that assist.
Okay, so do you hold everybody else accountable? So in this open era, when Trae Young, LeBron James, Jokic, Joker do the same thing, where they're just throwing to an open man because 3 seconds the guy's got to clear out the key, and the guy runs in and dunks it. So we're going to eliminate those ones too.
I've said that about Jokic too. One of the big things is that a lot of his passes are just he's making the right pass. Every now and then he'll create, but for the most part for Jokic, it's making the right pass. Well, again, guys like a guy like LeBron is a little more creating the passes. A guy like Magic create the assists. It is different. It is different.
Come on.
I believe
Jokic
is not blasphemous. Come on.
This is the thing with Jokic. He's a stationary passer. That's what people understand.
I believe you're biased.
No?
Your bias
LeBron is an overrated passer.
Look, I'm not even a big Magic guy though, but I think Magic is a better passer than Jokic.
Yeah,
I think Magic and Jokic are on the same tier.
But I think LeBron's a better passer than both of them.
He's not in that tier.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But to be clear, we have Chris's definition. What's your definition of a passer? What criteria are you using?
Or so when it comes to when we're talking about the best of the best, the top 10, top 5, right? Yeah. I think the difference maker, because again, all those are guys, great passers, they all make the right play, they all do everything, right? But the difference is the truly elite ones, again, the Magic Johnson, throw LeBron in there. they create the assist. Steve Nash, they create the assists by finding passes that no one else can at the right time or in the moments. Like, and there's a lot of them, again, because defenses have to, again, maybe more so for, in LeBron's case, they have to focus on LeBron, get into the basket, what he's going to do. With Nash's ability to just find passes that I don't even see, I think it's very special, with Steve Nash. Like, like his behind the back stuff is just ridiculous. Like, you don't even think it's there, but he just gets it through. And with Magic Johnson, him too. Magic Johnson was finding passes in the fast break. I'm like, oh, damn, he did this. Like, I was thinking it's going here, but it's going here, right? So when a guy finds passes that you don't even see, I think that there's a level of playmaking that's just above everyone else. And again, with John Stockton, he does that, but not as much. And maybe that's not his fault. Maybe that was the system that he was in.
I don't mean to cut you off, but it very much sounds like your eye test of flashy passes is your differentiator.
I think in some ways, yes, because again, when we're talking about the best of the best, the margins are relatively, thin.
Because let me ask you, from a basketball perspective, and Ori, I know you have something to say too, but give me a sec. In terms of basketball play, do you want the guy who dribbles twice to his right, let's say, sees an opening and throws a pin perfect bounce pass into someone in the low post for a dunk? Or do you want the guy who half of the time is going to throw a behind the back pass, to a guy you didn't even see that was open for an open shot or dunk or whatever, and half of the time throw it out of bounds because they significantly more turnovers? Which one is better? The guy that makes that right play and doesn't have the turnover, or the guy who has the flashy but turns the ball over more?
In that case, obviously, it's the right pass. But I'm not talking just about flashy. I'm talking about
that's the difference between Stockton and the other guys you mentioned.
But I'm talking about passes that even the defenses don't see. I think Magic and LeBron and Steve Nash find passes that the defenses don't even recognize.
And you don't think Stockton did that?
No, again, not at their level. Again, I'm sure 100% all these guys do it. He's just not at their level.
I think maybe you didn't see enough of him. I'll put together
maybe we'll have a film session.
I gotta.
Let's watch a playoff game. Let's watch a 15 assist playoff game or 12 assist game by John Stockton and look at the assists, and we'll count the assists and see how those assists came about. Compare it to a Magic or LeBron, and we'll see the difference.
And count the turnovers with the bad ones too.
Yeah, and let's go. I get to choose the version of Stockton though. Let's do that, and then we can do that video. Okay, as clearly the only other Stockton truther on here, NBA TikTok, which can't hear me, they don't get to know, but they know that I do. I defend Stockton all the time. Anyone that follows Hoop Social knows I defend Stockton all the time. I think Stockton is one of the most underrated players in NBA TikTok because, number one, yes, the cumulative stats I understand can be a little bit overrated. I believe they can be a little bit overrated. I care about averages more. I'm an average guy. Those things matter more to me.
All-time in assists per game.
Exactly, and that's why I'm going to say that. But Magic is number one, and Magic is, once again, that assist to turnover ratio is not as bad as you're making it seem necessarily. When it's an 11.5.
Whoa. I never said anything about the ratio. The ratio is fantastic.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you mentioned the turnovers.
He did turn over the ball a lot more than Stockton. Even though he averaged 1 or 2 more assists per game, he also averaged 2 or 3 more. There's two more turnovers per game.
More turnovers, right. So once that you boil down those averages, though, I think that you include the type of passes that Magic Johnson was trying. The more riskier passes, the more offensive looking type passes. I'm not saying Stockton was not trying those passes, but Stockton was more efficient. Like you said, Stockton was a guy that was going to make the right play, 99.9% of the time. You could depend on that. Stockton is the epitome of dependability. 16 plus seasons at 82 games. I mean, all those longevity stats. He is that. That's what he is. I mean, Magic Johnson is a little more of what representative of kind of the flash of unicorn. And to me, he's a little more special in that sense because, like, I think he was able to pass people open. I think at 11.5 assists and, 4 turnovers, his ratio is spectacular. There's nothing to knock there. There's those turnovers aren't as impactful when you're making more assists. You know what I mean? Like you're making the difference.
You want to hear a crazy stat?
Yes.
Okay. John Stockton, assists minus turnovers, had 11,562.
Mm-hmm.
Magic Johnson, assists minus turnovers, 6,635.
It's crazy.
And that's
I know that's the total, and but you can do the same. It
sounds like an ESPN LeBron stat, just some crazy stats.
But totals. See,
sounds interesting. That being said, we're forgetting about basketball. The Lakers played a super fast pace Showtime offense, which accounted for some of those turnovers, but also accounted for him having more opportunities for those assists. And still, John Stockton, who played in a slow-paced, controlled offense, still averaged about the same amount of assists in a. So imagine if I said to you, who's the better scorer? James Harden in the 7-second offense, or pick the player in a slow-paced, structured half-court offense, and he averaged the same points per game as Harden? Who would you say is the better scorer?
Okay, but I would come back with the thought that, like,
Can you answer that question?
But is the Jazz offense a testament to what Stockton is, or more Jerry Sloan? You would say then. So if they had an offensive engine like Magic Johnson, would they play Showtime style as well?
No,
because Pat Riley wasn't doing the Magic Johnson offense when Magic left.
It's the coach.
Pat Riley was
It's the coach that brought in that style. Pat Riley wasn't the coach that started that Showtime style, right? That was what's his name? Whitehead.
Yes, from ended up coaching the Nuggets. Yeah. But I guess once again, to me it becomes engine versus driver. I feel like if you have Magic Johnson, do you become a team that runs more? Do you run in transition more because of your offensive engine? You know, Steve Nash effect, all these great point guards.
I'm sorry, I said Whitehead, my bad. I said Whitehead, Westhead.
All these great point guards are offensive engines, like singularities. I feel like of all the offensive engines and singularities that exist, despite how great Stockton is, he theoretically could have been the most replaceable as well.
John Stockton could have been the most replaceable
by other great point guards.
I know that.
I'm saying that he's on the list of great point guards, but you know that you're splitting hairs when you're talking about him. So how high on a point guard list do you have John Stockton?
Hold up. First, let's look at this. Magic had Kareem, Wilkes, Worthy, Scott. Stockton had Karl Malone and a bunch of guys who could barely crack 14 points per game. That's a fact.
I'll give him that. Magic had all the help in the world. Magic had a stacked team for his time. Relative to the time, Magic had the most stacked team of any individual. Like that team was ridiculous, especially compared to who they were playing, the time they were playing compared to the rest of the league, how teams were built.
I think we see what John Stockton did, and because he made it look so easy, he's like the Steph Curry of passing.
Right. But it wasn't making it look easy though.
Hold on, let me what's that?
It wasn't making it look easy. He made the right pass. It wasn't making it look easy.
No, because I don't think you know how hard it is, because I've done this before with other people where I've put together a video collage of his assists, and I don't think you know how hard it is to be dribbling full speed on an NBA court with NBA players defending you, and off one-handed dribble as you're dribbling full speed to thread the needle between two 6'10" defenders collapsing in the key and put it perfectly right in between them so that it bounces up right into the hands of your 6'10" power forward so he can put down a dunk. Yeah. That is a super like high level elite.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you.
10 out of 10 difficulty level pass, and because he just did it with ease so often, everybody just thought it was easy. And I guarantee you, Jalen, I'm not picking on you in particular, but I'll tell you, if you tried that pass 10 times out of 10, you wouldn't even make it to Malone, let alone.
I'm not a pro basketball player. We got to compare the pro basketball players.
How about this? I'll tell you 99% of point guards in the league can't make that pass consistently. Can't.
Well, that part's correct, but we're saying that Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, Larry Bird even would be.
I think Larry's a better passer.
Let's make those passes.
I think Larry's a better passer.
Is my point. We're splitting hairs. Where do you have John Stockton on your top 10 point guard list? I gotta know.
I have much lower.
I'd have to check my list.
Well, point guard versus passer is different, right?
Is he closer to 7 to 10 or 1 to 5?
Me?
No, for fluent.
I'd say he's probably closer to like 4 to 7.
So you think you'd have him in the 4 to 7 range?
I believe so. Yeah, I'd have to double check it, but
again, as a point guard or passer?
I think once
as a point guard.
As a point guard, not as a passer, as a point guard.
As a point guard.
Okay. So I guess that being the case, I think, once again, we're splitting hairs because the people that I say that could replace him are those guys above him. Those probably 6, 7, 8. I'm closer to 8, 9 guys above him, but I think he's a top 10 passer.
The difference is here's the difference, right? Could Jason Kidd make all the passes that John Stockton did? Yes, 100%. He could. Did he? No, he didn't. So the fact that whether someone could do something or had the talent or the skill to do it, that's great. Them doing it is the difference between I think he can and he did.
Yeah, but as a point guard,
no one has done what Stockton has done. Period. It's not a debate. No one has done it.
And so longevity-wise, for doing it as long as he did, no one's done it.
No one has done it. Period. And only one person has averaged more per game than him. One. So you're talking about 8 guys who could do what he did. They didn't. So they couldn't. They had the opportunity and they didn't. So skill-wise, did they have the skill to do it? Sure. You know what? So did Jason Williams. But guess what? He averaged 3 assists per game for his career. So he could not do it, even though he had the opportunity to do it. So John Stockton is a guy who not only had the skill and the talent and the IQ and all the other stuff to do it, he actually went out and did it. So just because you think you can go out and outshoot Steph, and then you go and shoot and you can't, that's why he's the better shooter. And we just assume Steph's the greatest shooter of all time. And people think, oh, well, anybody can do that. No, you can't. You can't. He makes it look easy. That's why so many idiots are out here shooting logo threes and they can't do it. Stockton made it so that you guys thought that anyone can replace him. But you know what? No one could.
That's where I think you're turning this into a production versus bag argument. And I'm telling you that production-wise versus bag, like he also played 16 seasons of 82 games. So I which is awesome. I get it. But like you know how hard it is to keep your average up that high when you're playing with a bunch of scrubs?
You know how hard it is to score 25 plus points for 2 decades?
So they're underrating the Jazz.
LeBron better score than Jordan.
The Jazz, despite not making it out of the first round, I feel like you're underrating.
Let's be very, very clear. John Stockton was playing in the slowest era ever in the history of basketball, in one of the slower offenses during that time. Yes, the 90s were the slowest era ever.
The 80s were one of the fastest eras, though.
No, the 90s, where he played the full decade.
Yeah, but he was old man.
We played the 80s too.
He still Stockton is like average over double digit.
Prime Stockton is 88 to like 93.
Yeah, that's slow. The pace slowed every single year. Hold on. So in one of the slowest eras ever, on a slow paced team, where with the exception of Karl Malone, okay, I'll give you Karl Malone. The guys on the court with him were Jeff Hornacek, who didn't average double digits, Greg Ostertag, who couldn't drop a hit
old man Stockton. What about the earlier team?
Hold on. Who else was on his team? Byron Russell. Like, he did not play with great scorers. He didn't. You're gonna tell me he played with great scorers?
That's 97, 98. Those are like old ass Stockton, man. What about young Stockton, like 89, 90 Stockton, where those teams were faster paced, where those teams, were better offenses? Like, I understand that the 97, 98, like that's when they made it to the finals. But you think, is that the best ever version of the Jazz despite that? Or do you think that they had some stuff going into that? I just feel there were better iterations of the Jazz.
Just keep in mind, right? He came into the league. He wasn't a starter. It took him like 3 years to become a starter. So he still averaged 10.5 assists, even though he came. Okay, give me the year and tell me what his great team was. What year do you want to use?
I want 88 through 93. 88 through 93.
Just to add something on, I'm going to give a shout out to HCN from TikTok. He's been commenting on my feed. He just mentioned that late 80s Jazz weren't even a top 10 offense in the league.
They were not. But they were. What about pace?
And it wasn't the slow. Yeah, the slowest pace from like 97 to like 2005. That was like technically.
I thought we were talking about pace.
Yeah, from pace it's 97 to like 05. Like
I didn't say. I said one of the slowest. Slowing down throughout. Like when he started as a. Do you know what year he became a starter?
Was it 87?
87, the 87-88 season. So his prime was 90, 91, 92, 93. When guess what was happening? Pace and points per game. And tell me, and what team do you want to see that had great scores?
But 88, but 89, like 89, 90 Stockton was like, those are the versions that are like the 17 points,
Okay.
14 assists. Like that's that stretch where he's averaging like 17 and 14.
Okay. So other than Karl Malone,
with a fast pace.
Karl Malone, here's his top scorers. I'll take you through. In 87, 88, Thurl Bailey, Daryl Griffin, Bob Henson. These are the top scorers on his team other than Karl Malone.
Yeah, but Thurl Bailey's a 19 game. Daryl Griffith, Duncanstein. Wait, come on. These aren't slouches.
Two guys that average more than double digits. Wow.
But good double digits. Those are good players.
Hold on. Thurl Bailey, just so you know, came off the bench. He didn't even play that much. But that's Thurl. So you're going to hang your hat on Thurl Bailey and Daryl Griffith?
Oh, okay. How much were those averages, points per game?
19 and 13.
Okay, what about the next season?
19 and 13.
With Karl Malone. So you have a 19 point per game scorer with Karl Malone and a 13 point per game. So you have 4 double-digit scorers.
Yeah, that's for 2 seasons. What happens the next season? Thurl Bailey is the only other double-digit scorer other than Karl Malone. He's averaging 14.
And Stockton himself. That's 3 players.
Well, he can't get the assist from himself.
No, I understand that, but that's 3 players in their starting lineup averaging double digits.
No. You can't. When you're talking assists, you can't include the guy who's throwing the assist.
No. I'm saying how many more players are supposed to be averaging double digits on that squad?
But you want to show the Lakers?
How many other playmakers are on that team? Any other guys who are kind of creating assists, or was it just all him?
It was all him. There's no
get a lot of opportunity to get an assist.
He was running the offense. He's your prototypical traditional point guard. But what I'm saying is, you're talking about these, other great scorers, and the other guys are Thurl Bailey, who was 19, 14, 12. Okay, that guy's getting him a ton of assists coming off the bench.
But if there's 3 players in that starting lineup that are averaging over 15 points per game.
Do not count Stockton.
Yeah, but how many other lineups have 3 other guys, not including the guy passing it, with averaging over 15 points per game?
All the ones that have top assist guys in the league.
But
we gotta look that up. Who else would lead the league in assists in that year? I don't know. Other than like Magic.
I imagine it's gotta be close when we start scaling for era.
Not here. I think that era, if you take away Magic's Lakers, I don't think there's a lot of teams with 3-4 guys outside the main passer.
That's what I'm saying. Like we can't expect them to be an anomaly as well.
So then you go to the question. You're just answering the question. Are any of those guys great scorers that I mentioned? Thurl Bailey, Daryl Griffith. Are those guys great scorers, or was he creating those points for them?
It's probably a little bit of both, honestly.
I was going to say, doesn't it come down
I gotta
to
go watch those games. I gotta
when you
watch
talk
those
great
games.
scorers, hold on. So when you talk great scorers, you're bringing up Thurl Bailey and Daryl Griffith?
No, but
but you're skipping Karl Malone.
I said
you could easily.
I'm giving you the one. I'm giving you Karl Malone.
But that's a big one. So you get one guy that's going. So I have a 24. You tell me in my lineup.
Okay, so then that's
25 point
score. How come everybody who has a 30 point per game score doesn't have these assists?
No. I'm saying I got a 30 point per game scorer. I got a 19 point per game scorer. I got a 14 point per game scorer on my team, and I'm not like I myself am a 17 point per game scorer, and we're terrible.
I didn't say. I'm just saying what great score are those guys? Aren't great scorers. We don't talk about.
I agree, but they're not slouches, I guess, either. I think there's maybe, like Chris said, maybe there's a middle ground, I suppose. But
sorry, just to answer Theo, no, Adrian Dantley had been traded to the Pistons in the kind of, I think, right when Stockton started starting. So he had been traded to the Pistons, so he was not still on the Jazz.
That would have been weird. Can you imagine the black hole of Adrian Dantley playing with Stockton? The ultimate.
But that's also the thing. You have a guy like Mark Eaton, who's he's not getting you an assist. He's throwing it into him and he's backing a guy down and posting up. That's slowing it down. So for all these guys that you want to say, well, they scored. Yeah, they scored.
And honestly, at the end of the day, this is like
okay. Here, give me one.
I'm such a Stockton guy.
Give me one of your great passers. Give me one of your great passers.
Jason Kidd.
Who? Jason Kidd. Okay.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd.
He was playing with Richard Jefferson.
What year would you say Jason Kidd was his peak?
I mean, I guess like the early 2000s when he was leading his team to the finals, like maybe like 02, 04.
Yeah,
Go
those
through
those final teams.
In the early
No,
2000s,
no, go through it.
in the early 2000s, okay, he was averaging under 10 assists per game.
In the slowest era ever, like in the most defensive slow era.
In the slowest era, you're absolutely right. And let's see. I don't know the answer here. Let's see. And he had, other than himself, 3 guys averaging in double digits, and then 3 guys averaging 9 points per game.
So Richard Jefferson,
Keith Van Horn, Kerry Kittles, Kenyon Martin are the 3 other than him. And all of those are better scorers than the guys you mentioned.
Okay, let's
he was creating a lot for Kenyon Martin. He was definitely creating a lot for Kenyon Martin.
You shouldn't have had him pick.
Even Richard Jefferson too.
He picked the other one. Jason Kidd, we all know is he picked the other one. Is Jay Kidd? That's probably
what other. Then the next year he had 4 guys. Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Kerry Kittles, and Lucius Harris, all averaging over 10 per game. So more.
Like you're going at us for giving props to like
Kerry Kittles and Lucius are like.
Wait a second. So I can't prop.
Kerry Kittles. Well, no. If you're gonna give credit to those guys, Kerry Kittles I played against Kerry Kittles in university. Kerry Kittles was a beast.
Lucius Harris, I take offense to.
Okay. No. But I'm saying you said how many? He had 2. This guy has 4. Again, Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Kerry Kittles. Then he had Alonzo Mourning. It would seem like in a slower era he had more guys averaging double digits, because that was your argument. Is that Stockton had these guys averaging double digits. All right. So did Kidd as the example.
He also didn't have Malone. Kidd didn't have a Karl Malone though.
Yeah, we're forgetting Malone.
Okay, hold on. How about this year when he averaged? Let's see, because you were saying this is his thing. 8 assists per game, but he had 27.5 points from Vince Carter, 22.5 points from Richard Jefferson. He had double digits from Eric Williams and double digits from Alonzo Mourning and double digits from Nenad Krstić. Now, those guys aren't great scorers, but he had 5 guys, including almost a 30-point per game scorer, averaging double digits. He only averaged 8 assists per game. How come?
This is all American Hooper's fault.
It's blown out of the water.
Hold on. Fluid knows what he's doing here. Wait, but
he's not the one I would have chosen.
Hold on, Vince Carter's like an isolation scorer a lot. So
who's the one you would have chosen, Nori? Yes, you're grabbing on my pick.
Yeah,
did you not watch what I posted yesterday? Basically, throwing all those lobs and
now say
the lobs
the same thing.
But...
Now let's go Jokic.
All right.
Better passer than Stockton. Yes.
But we were talking about assists and who their teammates were. But okay, we'll go. Okay, what year do you want Jokic?
Yeah, assists and their teammates. Let's keep it to that, right?
Okay. What year?
Let's go 2021.
2021. All right. He averaged in 2021. The 2021 or 21-22. So we're clear.
Oh,
2020-21. I'm assuming.
2021. Okay, so that season he averaged 8 assists per game.
No, that's not that one. Above it then.
In a very, very high paced era.
21-22. It's you know which one I mean. It's the one that we got. That it's right there. It's the end.
What?
It's right above that.
Okay, 21-22. He averaged 7.9 assists per game.
Is that not the one? Which one? Then which is it? 22. And I guess
I'm asking you. You're
I'm
supposed
sorry.
to tell me.
It's my mistake. It's the first year he hit double-digit assists. Is the year I want.
The first year he had double-digit assists was like last year.
Nah,
did he have a triple-double year? Did he have a triple-double year? Jokic? I'm pretty sure he averaged a triple-double.
So 24 is it 25? I don't know.
24-25 is the first time he averaged double digits.
24-25?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the first time he ever averaged double digits.
Yeah, or you're going after me for my pick.
I know. I would still pick him. I'd pick him as a better passer, but I got to clearly
And that year, the first year he had double digits in a super fast era. Okay, super fast paced era. He had Jamal Murray 21 a game, MPJ 18 a game. He had Christian Braun 15 a game, Aaron Gordon 14 a game, and Russell Westbrook 13 a game. He again had 5 guys averaging over double digits, and one of them over 20 points per game.
But the reason he's a better passer,
why is he a better passer? He clearly has better scorers around him. No,
I think
that's the argument you tried to make before.
I think he created every single one of those.
Every single one.
Yes. Every single
Russell
one of
Westbrook, an MVP, couldn't have scored without him.
An MVP.
Wait, that Russell Westbrook with Denver, you
Jamal,
know what
hold on,
you just
Jamal
did.
Murray.
Let's have respect on Russell Westbrook, top 10 all
Hold on,
time.
Jamal Murray. Hold on. Jamal Murray couldn't score without him?
Jamal Murray would not be what he is today without him. No way.
Hold on, Ori. Stop. Hold on. Timeout. Pause. Rewind. Let's not forget
Jamal
some of
Murray's
those
a
playoff
bucket.
series.
Jamal
yeah,
Murray's
he's a bucket.
bucket.
Jamal Murray's a bucket
Murray
anywhere.
Is a bucket. Do you think we would know all about Jamal Murray if he wasn't with the Nuggets?
I think Jamal Murray would average more points.
100%.
Playing away
I think he'd average more points.
Yeah, I think he'd average more points without Jokic.
In fact, if it
I
wasn't for
agree with
Jamal
that.
Murray, if it wasn't for Jamal
He'd
Murray,
average more.
if it wasn't for Jamal Murray going ham and averaging 6 more points per game that he has for his career than he ever has for his career, the Denver Nuggets don't win a championship.
Who else went ham? Who else went ham in that same year
Jamal Murray.
during the playoffs? Who else went
Jamal
ham during
Murray.
those playoffs?
Jamal Murray is the
Jokic
reason
was
they
great,
won
too.
the
Murray was great.
And who went hammer then?
No one.
Why don't you? Well, can we
Jokic
look at
was the
those
best player on
numbers?
the court.
You know what
Jokic
Jokic
was
did
still
in
the
those
best player on the
playoffs?
Yeah, but Jokic is the best player on the court, sure, but he didn't.
You know what Jokic did in those playoffs?
Yeah, but no one's comparing Jokic
That's what
to
he always
Stockton
does.
as a player, right? Jokic to Stockton is not a conversation for.
I'm saying as a
for-
passer.
for-
I'm sticking to passer.
As a passer,
Let's
yeah.
stick to
I mean,
passer.
that's a debate I'm willing to have. Like, I might lean Jokic. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and lean Stockton. That's a conversation, at least I think you can have. Jokic versus Stockton. But
I think Jokic is a more of an offensive engine when it comes to his playmaking. I think he is more of apt to pass someone open. And I
want to be clear. I want to be clear. Jokic in those playoffs where they won the chip went 30. Don't get me wrong, 30, 13, and 9. Okay? 30, 13, and 9.
With some of the best efficiency we've ever seen.
Sure.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Jamal Murray went 26, 6, and 7. He was also averaging 7 assists to Jokic's 9. So to suggest that Jokic was the sole catalyst of that offense is wrong. It's not true.
Who's drawing all the doubles in that?
Better player. Hold on, Jokic is the better player, but Jokic, I'm not. Look, it sounds like I'm not. He did. Jokic did Jokic things. They don't win the chip if Jamal doesn't go above and beyond who he is.
facts.
Well, it's kind of tough. Just because like they dominate. Okay, like,
Look, this is Jokic, and this is what he did. This is Jamal, and this is what he did. Sorry, Jamal had the bigger jump.
So yeah, Jamal elevated more, but I do think that's just because Jokic started at a higher level. Jokic started at a higher level.
It's not knocking Jokic. It's saying Jokic was going to do that regardless. If it's not for Jamal stepping up, they don't win.
Well,
Jokic did what he did in the regular season. If Jamal did what he did in the regular season, they don't win the chip.
I don't agree with that. You
don't have to
agree with it, but it's true.
No, just given who they had to play. Like they had like one of the easiest pass to the finals ever. So like I do think that they would have still won the finals. Maybe like the Suns would have given them a harder time, but who they, I don't even know who they beat in the first round. But like
they beat the Timberwolves.
Okay, so
they beat the Timberwolves, who were very inexperienced teams, and the Suns were in 6 games, and they swept LA, and then they beat the Miami Heat in 5 games. I definitely think they would have still won it, even if Jamal Murray was playing at like
really
level. What about Jamal Murray? Like, what if you
Jamal Murray against the Timberwolves went 27, 6, and 6, shooting 90% from the free throw line, 43% from 3. You're telling me if he played what he did in the regular season, they still win that series? No, they don't. That's false. I don't think you know what he did in the regular season is what I think. And you're comparing.
Jamal Murray is a known playoff like riser. Like he does.
What if you replace him with like the same type
of
production?
No.
What he did in the regular season.
What he did in the regular season, okay, was 24 and 6. Okay, and he shot 39% from 3. If he doesn't step up those 7 points per game, adds those couple assists, shoots a better percent, they do not win those games. Period. They don't.
That's I can see obviously why you would.
If he does what he don't forget those games were close. If he does what he does in those games, they lose. If he plays regular season basketball, they lose.
What are we debating? Like that's just a fact. Yeah, he does.
No,
I mean, that's every
every
championship team. If Pau Gasol didn't do what he did, Kobe and the Lakers lose that series. If Scottie Pippen didn't do what he did, if Kyrie didn't do what he did with LeBron,
I agree with you 100%.
All these guys.
Yeah, but we could also say like
it's not true.
You could also say if Murray wasn't shooting those shots, maybe Jokic is shooting them more. And at his efficiency, they're not bad shots.
Well, if Jokic is shooting them, he's not getting those assists. And now you're not going to say he's a great passer because he only averaged 6 assists per game.
Well, in that scenario, sure. But if we're playing alternate universes, I mean.
But I do think the more shots you take,
everything you do has checks and balances. So if he's shooting those shots, he's not getting the assists. He's only averaging 6 assists a game.
And I say the more shots you take, the efficiency will tend to come down. You take 35 shots a game. It's hard to keep it.
Unless you're Michael Jordan, of course.
They probably lose to the Lakers without Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray's like a Laker killer. It's annoying.
You forget what he did in all those close games.
Yeah,
he won 2 of those games on his own.
Jamal Murray wakes up to play the Lakers in the fourth quarter. It's actually ridiculous.
Was that more so in the 2024 season than the 2023 season that he won those games? 2020.
No, I think both. I think both
too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, the Lakers had no answer for Jokic and no answer for Jamal Murray late in games. Jokic got them to the precipice, and then Jamal just pushed them off.
There was nothing funnier than
I was sticking a stake in my heart. That son of a.
Ooh. Well, like no, there's nothing funnier. Just like after game 1, all the Laker fans were like taking victory laps after they lost, saying like, we figured out Jokic, so we put Rui Hachimura on Jokic, and then AD was playing that rumor role, and Jokic doesn't know what to do now, as if the MVP wasn't going to find a way to adjust. It was the most bizarre thing.
They just need a prime Dwight. That's all.
I have a question now that we've done this whole game and kind of played this whole question out. I never got to hear from Fluent. I was actually curious. Do you have Stockton above Jokic as an all-time passer?
I don't have active players in my all-time lists, so yes.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's a sneaky cop-out, but I'll give it to you.
It's not a cop-out, it's legit.
You're consistent. No, you're consistent.
You know what reminds me of John Stockton's game from the 2000s?
Give me that.
Who really reminds me of 2000s? It's a Raptor guy. It's not like a diss to Stockton, but the way they play, Jose Calderon. I'm telling you, like the free throw shooting, the meticulous. I'm telling you, Jose Calderon did give me John Stockton vibes.
I'm loving Influence reaction, not that take, Jalen. I want
to. I'm telling you, even the way he shoots the ball, the mid range. I'm telling you, watch the tape. Jose Calderon.
Do you know who from the 90s reminds me of LeBron James? Stromile Swift. He was super active. He could get up and down the court. He was a really good dunk.
Okay, but I'm not even dissing though. Like
Michael Beasley would have actually been a better.
Jose Calderon at his best was legitimately like the best or like a top 3 free throw shooter in the league. Like he was insane for the free throw line. He knew how to run on offense. Very smart with the ball. Didn't make a lot of mistakes. Right. Wasn't the most athletic, but still got to the basket, could create for himself. Just like Stockton was the most athletic, but could still create for himself. Shoot the ball. Was Stockton better? Yes. Of course, I'm not comparing. You compared them. Their games, skill set, the passing. Tell me the passing wasn't. You didn't see a little.
You know who reminded me of Michael Jordan a lot? Harold Miner. They did.
Gerald Green. Gerald Green was Michael Jordan, baby.
You know what?
In 2K he was.
Horrible takes.
TikTok.
I gotta give props.
I apologize.
Real quick. Oh, sorry.
TikTok, I apologize. You can't see 2 of the guys that are actually on the podcast on Sports.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I give you props to Jalen real quick.
Issues. Those are the voices that you're hearing talking.
Denny Avdija.
Yes.
Hey, Denny Avdija. I told y'all,
dude, you called it.
Bro, I called the Spurs.
He's not all NBA.
Hang on.
Denny Avdija beating him, man.
You said that you're not the only person that said that Denny Avdija would take a jump. You are, however, the only person that said that he was going to be like a top 7 player in the NBA, which he's
not a top 7 player in the NBA.
Hold on, my Spurs take.
He is. Listen, you did say he was going to win Most Improved, and he is now leading the Most Improved ladder. It is still very early. Yeah, he is. But he was also one of the top 3 odds on to win it. So it wasn't like it was that far of a stretch. He didn't pull a name out of a hat.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting? What I found interesting is my pick, Alfred Sengun. No one's talking about Most Improved, yet he's in the MVP conversation he's on the MVP ladder. How can a guy who is nothing and now be in the MVP ladder? Yeah. How could he?
You know what it was like?
I don't think he has an argument to me. I feel like teamwork is the only argument. I don't think.
Regardless if he has
the fact that he is in the MVP ladder though. Why is he not in the Most Improved? Yeah, why he is. So why is it? That I agree with you.
That's my point. Yes,
it's because he was already like too good. It's hard to win Most Improved when you're very good and you go to like superstars level.
You're telling me if I'm average. So you're telling me if I average 25 points per game, okay, and the next season I come out and I kill it and I average 45 per game, I shouldn't win most improved and MVP?
I mean, look, you're jumping 20 points over 50% or, close to it. Yeah, that's different, But again, like his averages aren't like his averages are up, but I don't think they're,
Yeah, his average broad. I haven't looked in the last couple of days. But what I said to you was the offense is going to run through him. He's going to average a few more points per game, which he is, more rebounds, more assists, which he is. No, and 100%. I think with most improved, it drives me nuts because we don't look at that. They don't look at everything. They go, who had the biggest jump in points per game? Okay, that's the guy.
It's a lot more noticeable when like a good player becomes great versus a great player becomes even more great. Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, this year should be Russell Westbrook. Dude is playing great.
Shout out Westbrook. Westbrook been doing his thing.
Shout out Westbrook, absolutely.
Are you allowed to get that this late in your career?
Well, there was the 1 year. I think it was in like 2018 where people wanted to get
starting now. He's starting.
Yeah, he's starting. Yeah.
He's playing pretty well. I have the OKC Sacramento game.
I remember in 2018, people wanted to give the MIP to Derrick Rose. They said he would have been like the first ever to win MIP after winning MVP. I feel like that would have been kind of crazy, but he didn't finish too strong, so I feel like that kicked him out of the disqualification.
The thing with Westbrook too,
that's a good one.
The thing with Westbrook too, Fluent earlier was talking about production and a player just doing it and accomplishing the things he has. Where we talk about a lot about point guards, their abilities, skill sets, winning, all that. Russell Westbrook has done things no point guard has ever done.
Sure.
No point guard ever done, and he's done it now for a long time.
If I saw the graphic,
stats are crazy. Russell Westbrook's stats maybe the best of any point guard in history. Like
if I saw the graphic correctly, I think he's the only he's like the only person ever to have like over 25,000 points and over 10,000 assists. Like that means something at the end of the day.
Crazy with LeBron, like it's crazy.
It doesn't mean everything, but it
matters. Like you said, production matters, and doing it for a lot of like production matters. Like
you said, three hypocritical knuckleheads. You literally just spent the first hour of this.
I said it means something.
I agree.
It means something. That does not mean I'm going to put him in my top 3 point guards all time.
So talking about production and totals not being as important.
It's not as important. I said it means something.
And now you said, oh, well, that means something.
I don't have Westbrook in my top 10 point guards all time. So I am consistent.
Fluid, it means something to you. So LeBron, the greatest scorer of all time, it means something to you, man. The John Stockton talking points, apply that to LeBron James. Counting stats.
Like I said, it's magic, but I'm going to make the argument for Stockton, even though it's not true. Yes, just like you are for LeBron.
LeBron James. Who just happened? Hey, who's finally regressed, and now it's just Magic Johnson. Imagine regressing and you're still Magic Johnson in year 20.
I love. You know what I love? I love that you're going to have to watch LeBron be the 4th scoring option on a team for a whole season, and your head's going to explode.
I mean, look, I love somebody in year 23, doing something that none of the other greats did because they didn't play this long at this level. You're
absolutely right. They didn't have that STEM research like they do now.
They didn't have the heart, baby, to put in the work.
STEM research.
They didn't do that.
Management.
If he had STEM research, you could think he'd play 82 games more than once.
No, that he's got to rest to get those things they take time. I don't know if you know about them. $2,000 minimum per session. They're tough.
He's gonna be putting up Magic Johnson stat lines all year long. It's a beautiful thing.
He's gonna put up some horrible stat lines. He's gonna drop like to 25 points per game. Like you guys, when his field goal percentage drops below Jordan's for like his career, watch how all the LeBron who's like they've been holding tight to that 0.7% that he was above him, they're going to lose their minds because now they need new talking points.
Who still talks about field goal percentage? I never bring up field goal percentage. That's crazy.
Every single LeBron fan will say he's a better shooter because he has a higher.
That's crazy. Who are these fans you're talking about? Because I don't speak to them. I've never said he's a better shooter than Jordan. Like, I've never said that.
Nick Wright, who's the president of the LeBron fan club, said that he was the best scorer of all time because he shoots better from the field. That is 100% fact.
He shoots better from the field. Okay, that doesn't mean he's a better shooter. So Nick Wright didn't say he's a better shooter.
He's a better scorer. He's a better scorer for sure.
Oh, if he says he's a better scorer, I disagree, but that's not a crazy thing to say because he has the most points. Sure, if your logic is whereas
he said he's a better. No, you're missing the point. He said he's a better scorer because he shoots better from the field.
Now, does that include
that's field goal percentage? Because it can't include free throws because Jordan's 10% better than he is.
Yeah, so but when they say shoot from the field, are they talking about from 2 feet out, a little hook shot? You know what I mean? So I mean, it's
typically when they say shoot from the field, they usually mean field goal percentage.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think everybody knows I can name 4 40 better shooters in NBA history, 50 better shooters in NBA history, obviously, right? So.
All right. So I guess that was our all-time great debate. It was Stockton versus
that was
Stockton versus Magic. So let's end the show. Can you list everyone who's injured right now? Giannis, Wemby, Castle. Is Cooper Flag? You're just sad because he's sick?
No, Cooper, he's sick. Yeah, he's out for the night apparently. Yeah,
you wanted a whole segment for that.
You wanted a whole
This is why I told it in our fantasy.
How many Mainers are in the NBA?
Oh yeah, Trey Young.
This is why in our fantasy league now you need like 12 pickups in a week instead of 4.
You know how many Mainers have ever done anything?
It's crazy.
Come on.
Do you want us to send him some? I was gonna say chicken noodle soup, but he's from Maine. You want us to send him some clam chowder or something?
Lobster rolls.
Lobster bisque.
Lobster
He's been getting better though. Cooper Flag's been improving. I like to see he's improved.
Last 4 games. Yeah, he's had like 27-3.
All they had to do was All they had to do was fire their general manager for him to play better.
Yeah.
Is AD still injured?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, AD's still injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new I don't know the new conspiracy about watching a video the other day about why they did the trade. So basically it's like what do you call it? She wanted to build a casino, the owner of the Mavericks wanted to build a casino in Dallas, right? And in Dallas, the city's like, no, we don't want it in the core, like they weren't going to give her the right to do it.
Correct.
So okay, I'm gonna move the team. If you don't give it to me, I'm gonna move the team to Vegas. So she could build a casino there, she has rights, whatever.
That's
and
all
then
true.
I think, and then people in Dallas and the people in the league, wait, you can't just move a team. They're, they have a strong fan base, they're making money, they're good. They just went to the finals. You can't move them, right? You have to be in a situation to move a team. She's like, okay, so then let's trade your best player, make them bad, and maybe they'll move the team. She's like, you know what? You're not gonna let me move the team. Let me sink the ship and maybe move the team.
The downside with that theory is that trading Luka for AD and whoever, I forget who else was thrown in. Max Christie, yeah, and getting Cooper Flag. If this team's healthy, they're not that bad. They're not.
I hear you. With Kyrie healthy, yeah.
They're not like Washington bad that you say, oh, I can move the team now. Yeah. Now, luckily for them, if that was the plan, right? AD is hurt, Kyrie got hurt, but like if this team's healthy, it's actually a very solid roster if you think about it. If you think about, listen, and no one knew Clay was going to have this much of a drop off, but if you think about Kyrie, even an old Clay, but Kyrie, Clay, PJ Washington, AD, and Lively with Gafford, Cooper Flag, etc., Max Christie, those guys coming off the bench. This is actually a good roster. This is a playoff team.
It is.
No, it's a good team.
So that's, that theory. I heard that theory too. I was like, I would get it, but in that case, you would have had to like move AD as well. Like you would have had to talk to the NBA. You might have said, hey, let me trade the first round pick and get something else, because Cooper Flag can step in and be the face of your franchise, at least for a year or two before you realize he's a bust.
A bust is crazy.
Well, I told you, he has a lot of bust potential. He's not
going to be a bust.
No, I didn't say he's going to be a bust. What I'm saying is he has bust potential. He has superstar potential, but he also has bust potential. He is legit hit or miss. I don't think there's going to be a middle ground for him. He's either going to be great or
I see. I disagree.
And when I say bust, so we're clear, when I say bust, a first overall pick has certain expectations. So if he's not an all NBA caliber player, people are going to call him a bust.
Yeah, and that's fair, I think. Absolutely. It's like with Zion, Zion right now, I think, is getting close to that bust type of status. Just not his fault, obviously. It's all injury related.
I don't know if it's bust because we've seen so many flashes.
Well, that's it. Like it's not him. Like he can play in this league. He can succeed. He can be a star in this league. He just can't stay on the court. So I think that also becomes kind of like a bust by default,
Who's the baseline for a first overall pick? What should be? So obviously not like the greatest, not the LeBron, Hakeem, like those are, they become top 10 all-time players. Like what's the baseline of what a first overall pick should be?
That's what your first overall pick is supposed to be a superstar, all-time great.
What's the floor? I think is what Jalen.
Yeah, what's the floor of a good first overall?
Is Anthony Davis too high?
Multiple-time All-NBA.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Yeah, so is Anthony Davis too high, or should we go someone a little bit lower, like a Blake Griffin maybe?
Blake Griffin might be the floor.
Should we go a little better than Blake? I don't know, because he had a couple injury seasons, so I don't know.
Blake might be a little under the floor.
Under the floor.
I don't,
Listen, if you had the
I kind of agree. Like,
hold on, if you had a first overall pick,
yeah.
and I said, okay, you get Blake Griffin, of all the first overall picks who were all NBA caliber players, are you happy? Or you're like, oh, I wish I would have got someone better?
I'm not thrilled, but I'm not sad.
Well, like,
You know what I mean?
given that he if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he ever got past the second round as like that guy. I'll
That's also unlucky with this Clipper situation. Chris Paul.
What about
That's
Joel
also true,
Embiid? Is Joel Embiid like
That's an injury thing. That's an injury thing.
He wasn't a first overall pick. Like I was only Kyrie,
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
What?
Kyrie?
Kyrie might be
Is he
third.
below the floor?
I got to tell you, I think Kyrie's under the floor too.
Damn. I mean, your floor is high then. I mean,
Here's why. Hold on. If I told you your first overall pick's going to play for your team for like 4 years, and he's going to be the second guy on one championship team, right, and then be gone, you're not happy?
but that situation,
True.
straight finals, or I mean, 3 straight finals,
3 straight
going
finals.
against the greatest, arguably one of the greatest collection of talent ever. Like it's that situation. They could have won multiple. I think you'd be okay with the Kyrie. I'd be okay with it. Again, not thrilled.
He was the second best player in a championship team at the end of the day. So yeah, I feel like that's
Okay.
I feel like that's passable.
So that means I mean most. So you think most number of overall picks are busted?
You asked what's the floor for your first overall pick, and again, if my definition is plays 8 to 10 years on my franchise and has multiple All NBA team selections, he didn't do that. So he's below the floor. I'm not saying again we're going to confuse skill.
I get it. Yeah. But
I think that's valid. I think that's fair.
If I told you I'm going to give you Kyrie, but you're only going to have him for 5 years, and 2 of those years they're not going to make the playoffs. 3 of the years they're going to go to the finals. He's not going to be the best player on the team, and then he's gone. Are you going to take him, or are you going to take? I'm going to give you Blake Griffin first overall. He's going to be with your team for 10 years. Listen, you're never going to get out of the second round, but he's going to be All NBA 7 times. For your franchise,
I'll take the Kyrie upside.
I'd take Kyrie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the Kyrie
I think I disagree.
You both get fired from your job.
I think
but
Griffin.
that championship ring will give me another job. Anytime you win a ring, you get another job.
Look at the tickets that Blake Griffin brings in.
Wait. Who is the GM? Wait, who is the GM
For
the Cavs?
David Griffin.
Good call. Oh, did he get another job after?
Yeah,
See,
the Pelicans.
Another job out. Yeah, he did get another job after.
The Pelicans.
Yeah, I'm saying anytime you win a championship, you usually get a job after, right? When you leave that organization, you usually get a job after.
You want to go with the Pelicans? You go enjoy the Pelicans.
Hey, it's an NBA team. There's only 30 of them available. Or you know what I mean? Like there's only so many available. 30 jobs in the world, and you get one of them.
Okay.
Hey, I'll take
Them.
Give me the Wizards. Give me Charlotte. Are you kidding? Fluent. If Charlotte called you right now, be an assistant GM, you're saying no.
I've already told them I'll be the GM and I'll have them in the NBA championship in 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. There you go.
You can't do any worse than Jordan.
Hey, you take
Jordan
that assistant GM.
Jordan was never the GM.
Hell, yeah, but as the president of operations, he's making calls and stuff like Danny Ainge and such because they got.
But he's not the GM. The record doesn't go to him. His job as owner and president of basketball operations, okay, was to make the franchise more profitable and worth more. And he did that 300 times more than what he bought it for. So he did his job.
I'll always say great players will always
he got a GM, if he hired a GM that he could push around and that guy never grew a backbone to make smart basketball decisions, that's on the GM. That's not on him.
Well, maybe he would have gotten fired if he pushed back too much.
I don't know how many GMs would talk back to Jordan, though.
Then get fired. Get fired. Listen, I've always said this.
Get fired, yeah.
If you're going to get fired. Well, hey, listen. Get fired doing the right thing versus keeping your job and looking like a moron who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is with Jordan? Like every GM he hired was probably
because guess what? The GM got fired anyways because the record goes to the GM. So he's going to get fired anyways. If I'm going to get fired, at least I'm going to get fired for bringing in the talent and the players that I want on this team that I think can win. And if the team does win, it makes it a lot harder to fire me and a lot easier for me, to Jalen's point, to find another job.
I just don't know if there's any GM at that time who would, really voice his opinion against a global icon who they probably grew up watching in the 80s and 90s. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was a tough spot.
Listen.
I think every single one of the GMs you hired was a fan. Let's be real. There wasn't a single person who wouldn't have been
right now. As someone who doesn't have Jordan in my top 10 favorite players of all time, if he hired me as a GM, I would still be starstruck. But at the same time, I'm smart enough to know I'm going to make every move that I want and make him think it's his idea. That's what a smart business person does. I'm not going to go butt heads with him and try to fight him. I'm going to tell him, I don't want you to take this personal, but there are teams out there that you're scared to draft this player.
Yeah, play with hubris. Play the hubris.
That's the way you got to feed the ego a little bit.
They like the ego to get fans.
Yeah, that's all. You got to be smart. You don't have to. Nothing, and not everything has to be a fight, right? True. You can easily manipulate and say, like, man, I heard Danny Ainge say you don't have the balls to trade away LaMelo Ball for XYZ, and he'll be like, I don't have the balls. Hey, watch this. Right. And there you go. Now I got rid of this super talented player who can't win a game. And I probably brought in a bunch of other players who make a better team.
At the
end of the day, you got to find a way to get what you want. And if all you did was sit there and go, okay, boss. Yes, boss. Yeah. Okay. I'll draft blah, blah, blah. What's his name? Adam Morrison. Okay, boss. Then you're an idiot. It's on you. It's on you.
I wonder what Danny's going to do with Laurie. I don't know if he can get a proper return from him. The way he's playing, but he's Danny, so he figures it out.
Listen, they're building right now. They're not in tank mode. They're not in tank mode. I said this yesterday on Fluent and Chill. I talked to Scott Morrison, who's the coach of the Jazz, assistant coach of the Jazz, who's he's a friend of ours, and he's like, I'm too busy. He's supposed to come back on the show, and he's like, I'm too busy. And he's like, but we're not tanking. We're building now. They know they're not championship contending teams right now, but they're going to keep Laurie because he is a piece of a good team.
Dude's balling out.
Him, Collier, they got some players over there. They definitely got some players over there.
I think Markin is at like 31 points per game right now.
Absurd. Yeah,
we went off on a tangent. We were supposed to talk about injured players, so let me I'll go around the horn before we sign off. What injury is the biggest, most important, or most impactful to their team right now?
I mean, it has to be the Spurs. I think the Spurs. I think the Spurs were legit contenders with the way they were playing. They were one of those teams that, again, nobody wanted to face in the playoffs. You have a guy like Wemby. Fox was, starting to get his rhythm back. Just had a big game. And they had other guys. So I think Harper was out for a little bit.
And Castle's out right now as well.
Castle's out right now. So they had a couple injuries really coming in, all at once. And they were looking really good. Like, that team is scary the way they're playing. So,
all right, Ori, you can't pick the Spurs.
No, I would pick Giannis. Actually, I think his team depends on him more. As good as Wemby is, you just mentioned all the other pieces. Milwaukee doesn't have that. I feel like they can't start losing games this early. They really need to build some momentum. And if you lose Giannis for any chunk of time, I mean, the second best player being Miles Turner, there's a palpable drop off to the next layer of talent. So I think it's Giannis.
I'm gonna, before I ask Chris, I'm just say Giannis was playing like the MVP I told you he was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
That injury bothered me more from that perspective. And I'm like, how did he hurt his groin? His wife's in Greece. But anyways, Chris, if you can't pick either of those two teams.
See what you did there. Yeah, well played.
Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can't hear you, but that's okay. So I'm gonna actually answer this in a different perspective, and I'm gonna go with the Hawks, even though they've been awesome, or not only because they've been awesome since Trey's been out. They need to make a decision. They did, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Did they sign an extension for him? I don't think they did, right? Or if they did, it was cheaper. I don't think they signed the extension.
I've seen it, yeah.
Should they sign the extension for Trae Young? I'm one that has always said he's a phenomenal floor raiser. I don't think he's a ceiling raiser. This would have been the roster for him to ceiling raise because he has the great roster around him.
You got to echo. Turn down your phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks. Chill. That's from Chilltown Hoops. He's in the chat, and he said,
"What up, Chill?"
He said you have an echo. There's a problem. I appreciate. Thank you, Jay. Jay's always looking out for us.
No doubt.
Nice. He's one of the good ones.
Oh, stay online. I'll tell you about one of the bad ones.
How?
What take?
Oh.
Shout, you mean Lil Fluent? Shout out my guy Lil Fluent, man. The other.
No.
Man. Oh, no, about I heard shout out my guy Penn. Though. I like Penn. The Kobe SGA take was
I have no idea what any of these people are talking about. All right, Chris might be having technical difficulties, which means
I'm good now.
You're good now. Okay, finish your point because this is the last point of the night.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just finishing. Yeah, the entire thing is just that at the end, the Hawks have been playing awesome. They didn't extend Trae. They've been playing awesome without him. They did, however, build a good roster to fit with Trae Young. He's a very bad defensive player, so they just surround him with a bunch of 3-and-D guys with a center who can nail some threes. So yeah, this would have been the roster. Like, in my opinion, this has to be a team that makes the conference finals if they want to extend Trae. If they don't, I think they're going to have to not only talk about moving on from him, I think they do have to move on from him.
All right. So I'll say it's interesting that you picked Atlanta. I think I said this yesterday. They need to trade Trae Young, and just see what they can get for him. I don't think it's going to be a lot, but I think find some pieces because this team is playing well without him. So you know what? Double down.
Jalen Johnson, true number one?
No,
probably not.
He's incredible though. Some of the things he's doing,
he's very, very good.
So wait, the Timberwolves give up 5 first-round picks for a defender. How many picks do you give up for like just a pure offensive guy, like Trae Young?
I think if it's just picks, like no star player in return, I think minimum 4 for Trae Young. At his age,
4.
I think 4 minimum. It could go higher than that.
I don't know. It's tough given. Yeah, he's extremely talented, and like I don't know how respected he's around the league. But I just don't know if like Rudy Gobert can like elevate a team ceiling because he can single-handedly turn like a top 10 defense into the number 1 defense in the league. I don't think Trae Young can do that with offense.
You think Trae Young with the prime Draymond Green, prime Klay Thompson, Jalen Johnson, and plugging in, and let's say Dyson Daniels on that team as a starting lineup and a bench, that team is a contender?
No. I don't think Trae Young. I don't think Trae Young's that type of player. I think he's
confusing Trae Young with Steph Curry.
I mean, look, obviously he's not Steph Curry, but I'm saying
Trae Young is really talented. He's super skilled. He's going to put up crazy numbers, and people are going to call me crazy because that's all they care about. And in reality, for whatever reason, all of that talent, all of that skill, all of those stats, for whatever, do not equate to winning basketball. And I don't know that anyone can explain it. I think if anybody could, they'd change it. They'd tell him, they would fix it. It just, it doesn't equate to wins. And so I think he's just a guy that's going to he's going to put up a lot of numbers and he's going to have a really great career. He's going to always just miss a lot of those all NBA and those types of accolades, unfortunately. And then he's going to go away and we're going to forget about him. And occasionally someone will say, "Oh, remember that Trae, Ice Trae? He was cold." But never, like it's actually sad. I'm saying it, and I'm like, I feel bad for him because rarely do you have a guy that's that good, and we're saying, yeah, but he's just not going to win. And winning does matter as much as some people don't want to talk about it. It does define your career, right? You can put up all the stats in the world. If you don't win, you'll be looked at as less than. And if you don't put up as great of numbers, but you do win, you're going to be elevated maybe higher than you should be. That's sport. That's the whole point. So on that note, what we do on this show is when we're done talking, we just hit end.
Oh, Canada. Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man. Call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.